Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is Prathosh Gopalakrishnan for the first time, and he is an astrologer, a very famous one. In fact, he's so famous that his night is his day, in the sense that he has so many people calling from all over the world. He starts his day like this time. He's in India and he has got some stunning news for us as far as the Indian elections are concerned, also about what is going to happen in the United States. First, let's talk to him about what's happening in India. And before that, a request to all of you to please like this video. And Prathosh ji, namaskaram and welcome to PGurus channel. How are you?
Namaste ji, I'm doing very good. Thank you. Hope you're good.
I'm well. And Prathosh ji, I saw your tweet about your prediction for the 4 state elections, upcoming election, Jammu and Kashmir, Haryana, Maharashtra, and Jharkhand. And I saw it, it was very interesting. So why don't you start from the first one, which is Jammu and Kashmir? The third phase is over. These are just predictions. We are not talking about any actual data from the ground. This is basically his read of the various planetary positions right now, as well as many other things. So over to you, Prathosh ji. You start from Jammu and Kashmir, and then one by one you can go to the states. I may have a question once in a while. I raise my finger like this and I'll ask you. Over to you.
Sure, thank you. So, when it comes to Jammu Kashmir, after a long, we are having this election actually. So, what would the BJP would think is like, okay, fine, then we have a chance. And also the separatist or the opposition party, they also have their own views to think. But what happens in general is whatever astrology thinks only will happen. I know people will then come and ask like, okay, well, then what happens to effort and everything? Effort is already there. Effort, it's not like effort is not there. So effort is already there, but whatever effort you put, that effort should fructify. That fructify is only because of Navagrahas or planets. Unless and until you don't have a favorable time in astrology, which is called as Dasa Bhugti. These two are the most important thing. I also would like to give you one small overview. There is a lot of misconceptions in astrology which is going on. For example, they only take Gochara, which is the general transit into the picture, like, Are, you're having 𝗤𝙬𝙤𝘀𝘖, 7.5 years. This will happen, that will happen, this will happen, that will happen. But in general, 𝗤𝙬𝙤𝘀𝘖, if you see, for example, Kanya Rasi, millions of people will be having 𝗤𝙬𝙤𝘀𝘖. So you mean to say all the millions will lose job, or you mean to say all the millions will become poverty? No. In that millions of people, most will get promotion, most will get children, most will get excellent career life. Marriage will happen from nowhere. They will also get good gains in business, stock market, etc., or also political power, anything. So that Gochara is a very general thing. Now coming to Jammu Kashmir, according to me, in my prediction, when I said in Twitter, I said it's a hung assembly. The reason why I said it's a hung assembly is because Jammu Kashmir is going through Sun Antardasa. So Sun is in 4th house, but still the hung assembly possibility is very high. Okay, then I also went through the chart of Omar Abdullah actually. So when I saw Omar Abdullah, he is currently running a favorable Rahu Dasa and Mercury Bhukti. So which started around, I think, 15th August 2024 and it is there till 2027. You have to understand one thing. Anyone who is running Rahu will always have weightage, irrespective of planetary position. And one more thing, that Rahu as a Dasa, if it comes, I'm 100% sure the chances of winning is very high. We have seen even in the past, Jayalalitha had 11 Rahu, Mithun Lagna, Rahu in 11th. In Rahu Dasa, she became a chief minister. And next in the US, when I'm telling, I'm coming about the Rahu. So currently he's having a favorable Rahu and a Mercury Antara. So according to my view, compared to 𝗤𝙗𝙗𝘀 what I feel is Farooq Abdullah can win this Jammu Kashmir.
Thank you so much. So what you're thinking is a hung assembly means nobody gets a majority, but then that will be a coalition era. How do you see that part play out? Who will be able to form the government?
There are two things to the. I mean, there are two things here. One is hung, which is also promising in the horoscope. And the second thing is when you see the candidate, for example, Omar Abdullah, because he's having Rahu Mercury, last minute push can change the coalition to a government formation comfortably. But even then, there will be a coalition, but still it will be like 70-30 formula.
I see. I see. Well, so we'll wish all the people who are contesting best of luck, especially in Jammu region. I'm hearing BJP is putting a lot of effort. They're trying to be the kingmakers. We'll have to wait and see whether they
Good.
eventually end up forming the government with Umar Abdullah. It is not unheard of. NC used to be a partner with BJP at one point of time.
Correct.
So anything can happen in politics. It's the art of the possible. Correct. So thank you so much for that. Now let's take a quick look at Haryana. Now, Haryana, it was assumed that Congress was going to win by a mile. I mean, it was said that, these guys are going to get 60 out of 90, 70 out of 90. I mean, people were saying 95 out of 90. So that sort of confidence. What do you think, sir?
Actually, when it comes to Haryana, I just looked at the oath of the present CM, actually. Nawab Rayoni, right? Actually. So he has lot of planets in 8th house, actually. So that is the reason there are a lot of issues and other things. So according to me, in Haryana, again, Bhupinder Singh Hooda, he can become the chief minister, the Congress candidate. Reason is he's having a favorable time of K2 Antardasa, actually. K2 Antardasa will give a surprise win, actually. So there are 80% chances Bhupinder Singh Hooda will be the chief minister.
I'm reminded of what used to happen when N.T. Ramarao had become chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. 1983, mid 83 or later 83. I mean, he was so popular, and an astrologer came and told him, in your horoscope, you are going to become the prime minister. You have to do one thing. What you have to do is you have to wake up at 2 a.m. and you have to do Shava Puja. And for that, he went and created a farm on Gandipet, which is the water source for Hyderabad. On its, on the lake shore, he actually did a Parnasara. 2 a.m. he would do the puja. By 5 a.m. he'll be done with the puja, and all the IAS officers will be asked to come and start. The work started at 5 a.m. That is how he used to work. But then, unfortunately, not only did he not become PM, he also lost his CM. So somewhere I have a little bit of a doubt about this. What do you think happened when somebody is guaranteed something and it doesn't happen?
Okay, see, this is where the problem starts in astrology. See, when you say that this remedy will work, if you do this, this will surely work. If you don't have anything in astrology which is destined, that you will have a political power, and if they say that, okay, you do this puja, homa and everything, it will work, it is not going to work. And one more thing, if you have that, it is not necessary you have to do puja. Without puja itself, it will work. But this will act as an additional catalyst, nothing else.
Yes. Wonderful, Prathosh. And now let's take a look at Maharashtra. Maharashtra, again, is where the money bags are as far as India is concerned. Still continues to be, because most of the big companies are headquartered there. And according to your tweet, I'll let you finish that line.
Okay. According to my tweet, Maharashtra, everybody will expect BJP will sail through. But unfortunately, this time, Uddhav Thackeray has chance, because he's Kanya Lagna. He has Guru retrograde in 4th and Moon Bhukti, which is running. Emotions of the people are so high that they have already made the decision. Moon is a very emotional planet. If you see his perception, or if he shows that it is like a victim kind of thing, he's been portraying for the last 2-3 years or something like that. So that Moon is a planet which will connect the masses positively. So whenever they vote, they may think that, okay, fine, he has suffered so much or he has done so much. Let's give a chance to Uddhav, and Uddhav will sail through emotionally because of his time.
So let us talk the counter side. Let us say BJP listens to this. They do listen to PGurus quite a bit, because we are not exactly someone who is sugarcoating things. We tell them the way we see things. So they may listen, and Devendra Fadnavis may say, I have to have a parihara for this. Come on, get all the people. Now I need to have a parihara. Get Prathosh ji's phone number. I want to talk to him. I want a parihara for this. what would you suggest to BJP?
Parihara is like, see, Devendra Fadnavis, again, in generally, he's Makar Rasi, he is going through his 7.5 years. People will say 7.5 years, even I have said some few minutes before, 7.5 years is not necessary if he has a good Dasa Bhugti. But still, at times, there is also exceptions and rules. 7.5 years can stall the progress also. And 𝗒𝙗𝘖𝗎𝑛𝑎𝑡ℎ Shinde, I don't have his horoscope, just I checked on Prashna, where it shows the change of government. So currently, if you see, Devendra Fadnavis has no power, no, only 𝗒𝙗𝑎𝑡ℎ Shinde only is running the game, right?
I gave you a trick question because I'm hoping, out of hope, that BJP will decide that the rightful person who should be the chief minister should be the chief minister. Anyway, it is their whole math. I'm not very approving of that. Whatever it is, let us move on to the next one. Very, very interesting discussion, Prathosh ji. You've got a very beautiful way of explaining things. And viewers, you don't, you should really like this video because he's such an engaging personality. And Prathosh ji has another couple of stunning predictions. Next, we talk about Jharkhand. In Jharkhand, recently, yesterday or day before yesterday, I read that the illegal voters are being weeded out from the system. Because this is another problem. What has been happening in some districts, I'm told, the tribals which used to be 48% or 40%, they have come down to 28%, almost half. A big concern as to who came in and how is it that this thing got disturbed so much. So what is your prediction for Jharkhand?
Okay, Jharkhand, when I put this tweet, many are challenging me or many are telling, no, this cannot happen. BJP only will come. I said, okay, fine. Because I did not have an exact horoscope of who is in BJP. And Hemant Soren, I checked his horoscope. It looks fine. But then I went into Prashna, where it again shows change of government. Actually, it is very sad to say, but the reality is reality. Again, in Jharkhand, the Hemant Soren will win. The chances are high because of two things. One is his horoscope and the sympathy factor. As you know, the planets is making it very strong. Actually,
so you see, this is a license to commit corruption. If you commit corruption and if somebody stops you by jailing you, then you play the sympathy card and you come back to power and you commit more corruption. Okay. Not a good state of affairs for the country, sir.
No, I will give you an answer. See, if you see, there are many people who are questioning why Modi ji did not take any action on the Congress for last 10 years. Be it Rahul Gandhi British citizenship, be it 2G scam in general, or be it anything, why he is not going for court, why he is not pushing for things. Because he see, if we can understand something, I think he also will know. Everything is a system and everything is a bureaucracy. And more than that, Modi ji's style of his horoscope we'll discuss later because that will be the last point after the US, where I will tell how many days or how many months government can survive and everything as a bonus, additional bonus, even though you have not requested. Okay, so if you see in that way, Modi ji will not like anybody to punish through court. Actually, his way of politics is show to the people, these are this, these are this, these are this. Actually, it was working for the last 10 years, but then this term it wouldn't work. It's very tough, very, very tough, actually. So what is my advice, if you ask Modi ji, is he has to push to the courts and he has to be aggressive. Then only this term we can pass even WKF or anything, because this term opposition is really aggressive and things are very tough, astrologically also.
Thank you so much. So now let's take a look at United States. And before I let you answer, I want to tell you one thing. All the astrological predictions, do they also account for possible vote rigging and fake vote balloting and things like that?
Exactly. See, when I'm predicting on a US election result, actually, to be frank, not to thumb chest, but I was the person who first told in July 11, I guess, July 11, 2024, first thing I said is, it looks like Kamala Harris will go for the nomination. First tweet. And you wouldn't expect so much of hate and so much of surprise and so much of shock. Then they were telling in comment, no, she will be eliminated from nomination center. Another candidate will come. Barack Obama will not accept this. this, that they were telling in general. But then what happened? Again, I predicted second analysis I said she will go through the nomination center, and exactly she went through the nomination center. Next. Now coming to the US election result, I have predicted very clearly Kamala Harris will be the US president. The reason is she is going through a favorable Rahu Dasa. Rahu is in Lagna and a Raja Yoga Karaka Shukra Bhukti. Shukra in very, very favorable position in her horoscope actually. Now, Rahu is the planet, you have to understand, wins by hook or crook. Even I mentioned this very clearly in my tweets. I never said Kamala Harris will win dharmically. I never said Kamala Harris will win trustfully. I never said Kamala Harris will win honestly. My English language in the tweet was very clear. By hook or crook, Kamala Harris will win the United States of election because of only one planet which is dominating, which is Rahu. Actually, to understand Rahu, I will just share a small Puranic story, actually, to understand, because people dismiss about the Rahu thing very, very easily, stating, even I used to see tweets where they say, come on, Rahu and all cannot do anything, Vishnu Bhagwan is there, Shiva is there, they will take care. I agree, I also understand, I acknowledge, but you have to understand a small Puranic story. When there was a elixir, I mean, when there was a situation where sorry?
Is it like Samudra Manthan? Amruta?
Correct. Yeah. When we were churning this ocean in this elixir, okay. So what happened is like everybody from Devas, Asuras were doing actually, because the deal was everybody who gets will be shared accordingly. So that is the reason they came into the picture. But then what happened? But Vishnu thought, no, this will not work, because if we give to Asuras, they will become very powerful and they will have they will dominate completely. So what happened is he gave only to the Devas, and Asuras were eliminated. But here there were two people who are smart and intelligent in Puranas. One is Rahu and one is Ketu. So what Rahu Ketu did is, without knowing, they sat near the Devas and they were ready to take this Amrita. Okay. So what happened is Surya and Chandra immediately alerted Mohini avatar, which is Vishnu. And what Vishnu did was very simple. He used the chakra and cut them, that throat. But still, unfortunately, that nectar, that Amrita went inside the body. So even Vishnu couldn't stop anything. And that is why, because of this revenge, Rahu and Ketu hates Surya and Chandra, which we call Surya Grahana and Chandra Grahana, actually. So Rahu is a planet of manipulation. It is an expert. It knows how to do things. So if you see the face of Kamala Harris, if you are really visible, you can see that Rahu is nothing but Kamala form, actually. So I visualize her accordingly like that. So she's very smart, actually. It is not like people are telling she's a papu, she's this, that, everything, let it be. But then she knows how to get things done. And if you see, because Shukra Bhukti is running, Shukra represents women. She is only concentrating on that abolition issue. She is very smart. I don't know whether she has astrology or not.
Yeah, abortion. Right. Oh, I have to tell you that. I thought she called you. See, one thing I have to tell you, Prathosh ji, this I held back because I wanted to give this as a surprise element. Closest source to her. See, she's actually, not very far from where I live. She's not, I mean, personally, I don't know her and she doesn't know me, but there were times when her sister's daughter and my daughter used to learn Bharatanatyam from the same teacher. You know, when your kids are dancing, the parents are exchanging notes and things like that. So we kind of know her. This is a long time ago. At that time, she was still coming up. She was not even a senator yet. My point is that people have told me that she's a big believer in astrology. Big believer in astrology. She has two people always advising her. I thought one of them would be you, sir.
No, sir. If it is that, surely I'll be acknowledging. Not really. But then I know from July whether she understands or not, whether their team understands or not. I have been tweeting about Rahu and astrologically everything. So I think they will also would have referred that, and they would also would have come to conclusion. And because Shukra is very powerful, that is the reason she is taking only the women issue very smartly and intelligently. And that only is going to be the game changer in this election. And not to discredit Donald Trump. Donald Trump also tried his best, But the problem is, he was having Ketu Bhukti, Guru Dasa Ketu Bhukti. Ketu is the planet which will make you to do mistake. His mistake is, instead of focusing on issue, always personally attacking Kamala, like comrade Kamala, this, that, which will not work anytime. And now from October 5, 2025, he is getting Shukra Bhukti, where things are going to be very, very difficult, and there might be some kind of women-related issue which might also throw surprise and be a game changer more further in election. But having said that, finally, Kamala Harris will win the US president election 2024, and my estimation is 293 to 353, and my intuition is Hare Krishna 306 precisely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, last question, because what you said about the 4 state elections is definitely going to make a huge difference as far as the central government's working is concerned. I have heard, talks that if Modi loses in these 4 state elections, I mean, a hung assembly is not a win, that people will seriously challenge him for his leadership position, and it is even possible that Sangh may say step down for somebody else who can get things done. This is what I've heard. I'm not saying that this is gospel truth. What do you think is going to happen to the current NDA government?
Okay, current NDA government, if you have to see, you have to see the Narendra Modi chart, where he is running a Mars Dasa and Mercury Bhukti. Mercury Bhukti will sail through somehow till 2026 January or February. But then the Ketu Bhukti comes, and that is going to be the biggest challenge, where my contention is Sangh Parivar, again, as you said, will ask him to step down possibly, or they will find a new way of dealing this, and it is very tough in any point for the government to continue after 2026, where I've already said in tweet, and there are chances that the next Prime Minister will be Yogi Adityanath.
Well, my dear friend, you really made my day, because I wrote this book. I wrote this book 3.5 years ago, and I predicted the same exact thing. Now, 3 years ago, things weren't this bad. Modi was sailing through, right? But I had predicted it in this book. Those of you who have read this book, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those of you who have not, you can get the book. Thank you so much. You've been a wonderful explainer of what you see in terms of star charts. And you've also explained some of the oddball things, such as, if the vote is rigged and things like that, because people are saying that in America, it's going to be rigged again. And I've written a book on that too, but not many people have read it. So this is what it is. Kali is standing on one leg. What can we say? So,
correct.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'm hoping that after the elections are over, maybe after Haryana results come out, so that is Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana results come out, we will have a look again and see how things go. And I would hope that you can regale us with stories and course corrections, and who knows who's doing what kind of Shatru Samhara Puja to try and set right their course. I've learned all these little words here and there, so I might surprise you with them. So let's wait and see how it goes. Thank you so much, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yes, let's have a session once again, and I hope and I trust Sri Krishna, all the prediction will come true, including US. Thank you. Sarvam Krishna.
Thank you.